Hello everyone, my name is Norton Miller. I'm a curator here at the New York State Museum. My main responsibilities are bryophytes, the mosses and liverworts. I also curate the quaternary paleobotany collection, but I have an interest in lichens as well, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. What I want to do is to share with you some information about lichen structure and lichen biology so that you have a sense of what these organisms are like. Lichens are dual organisms. They're a combination of a fungus and an alga. The fungus gives the lichen form, structure, and the alga provides food for the fungus. And they live symbiotically. It's a classic example of symbiosis. Now, there are three general categories of lichens that are used to classify them in a very generalized way. And the lichens that belong to each class are not necessarily related evolutionarily or genetically, but they're put in these classes because of general similarity and form. The first example of this is the foliose type of lichen, which is exhibited by this lichen, which is called the lung lichen because it's reminiscent of lung tissue. This is a lichen that grows on the trees, on the bark of trees in northern unpolluted habitats. This has been pressed flat. This is what it looks like when it's actually growing on the tree, much more three-dimensional. Lichens, when they're wet, they're very soft and rubbery, and when they dry, they become very brittle. This is another example of a lichen. This is an example of a rock tripe lichen, and it grows attached to boulders and rock outcrop faces, and these may be as much as 12 inches in diameter. They're attached by a little holdfast here called an umbilicus, and as a result, the name of this lichen is Umbilicaria, named from the umbilicus attachment. This particular lichen receives notoriety in a number of ways. Properly cooked, it's edible, so it's been used as starvation food, but it's also used to produce a very nice dye for woolens, and there are four examples of different colors achieved in the dyeing process with raw wool, different colors related to the kind of mordant that was used. So there are three different shades of rose. Now, the second category of lichens is the crustose variety, which occurs here in this example of tightly growing crusts on a rock surface. Sometimes you may have as many as 20 or 30 different species on a rock this size. This one has primarily one major species, told by the different colors of brown and gray that you can see on the surface of the rock. Crustose lichens also occur on tree bark, and here's an example of one on tree bark, and you can see the very small tan-colored body of the fungus with some black fruiting bodies, which is where the fungus spores are produced. And finally, the third category is the fruticose category, which is exhibited here by a lichen that has a common name called the British soldier lichen, so named because the upper parts of the thallus, the fungus body, the fungus structure is red like the uniform of a British soldier from colonial days. This plant, this organism grows in a three-dimensional clump. This has been flattened so that it can be kept more conveniently in the collection, but it's three-dimensional in nature. So the three main categories of lichens are foliose, fruticose, and crustose. Now, one last thing I wanted to show you and share with you is how we look at lichens in the field. This is a loupe, a hand lens so-called. It's a structure that provides magnification and allows you to see small structures at a very enlarged scale so that you can find structures that are useful in identification. And the way this is used is you put the hand lens up to your eye and you move the specimen you're looking at in and out until it becomes sharply in focus, and thereby magnifying greatly the small structures that are useful in the identification of these small plants. Loupes or hand lenses come in various magnifications. This is a 20 power 10 power and 14 power are also very useful. This is a wonderful thing for children to be introduced to and to encourage them to use and look at things in nature. It opens up an entirely new world for interesting observation.